Hi, everyone. So thanks so much for joining us. We are the Consistently Creative Crew, and I am Kari, and I'm here with Colleen and Cheryl. And tonight we're doing the Noteworthy Days Project Recipe. And I wanted to uh, just start out by showing the Creative Memories Project Recipe handout so that we can see what's going to happen. So this is their sample page, and you can see that they have two border punches that go across the top and the bottom, and they're all the same. Their base paper is this blue, dark blue paper with the vertical stripes, and then they cut this paper that has the white grid into 4 pieces, and they put 2 of them on the bottom left corner of their layout, and then they flip that paper over and it goes on this upper right hand corner. And then there's some photo mats and a journaling box and a big space for you to have embellishments or a title. So the pages are not quite identical to each other, but they're very similar. They're almost a duplicate. And here is the cutting guide. We end up having the 2 different designer papers that we're using. There are 4 punches again, and then all of the pieces that are E through J are photo mats. And if you want different size photos, different orientation photos, you have plenty of paper here to utilize that. Then there's the designer paper that they cut into equal pieces of 4 pieces that are 6 by 6 inches. They use 2 of them on the one side. They flip the paper over and use 2 on the other side. So going on to the advisor guide that they give us, if you do not want to use this blue and beige paper, you can actually they have some couple of other pairings here that might be better for what you're working with. So you can see some of those here. So if you want to take a look at these, and you can always pause the recording and take a look and see what you might want to use. So they use these 2 as base papers and these 2 sheets as their designer paper that they are going to cut apart. So I'm going to go back to my table. So this was my sample that I created to work through the process. And my base paper is this light gray or silvery paper. And I used the honeycomb punch, which is an older punch, but I thought it would work well with this layout that I was doing. The piece of paper that I used is this gold tone, and it's tonal on one side, and on the other side it's these stripes. So I decided to use that for my designer paper number 2. Designer paper number 1, which was the 4 punch strips as well as the photo mats, is this gray tonal paper. And you could honestly use cardstock because you are covering a lot of this up. So if you have lots of favorite papers in whatever collection that you're using and you don't want to use a piece and then not be able to see it, you can do that. And the other piece here is this journaling box here, which obviously, since I picked a dark color, I would need to probably put something light on top of it in order to write, or I could use a white marker. So this collection was one of the advisor packs. It was called Elegant Memories, and this was one that I wanted to try out and see for this. I also have the photo dimensions on here. So there were 2 photos that were 6" by 3.5 inch. There were 3 photos that were 3 3/4 inches square. And then they put 2 photos and they oriented them portrait, and they're 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. So I think I will go ahead and pull my papers over that I'm going to use tonight. And I picked another pack, and this is, I believe it's called Celebrations. Yes, Celebrations. And I decided I wanted to use this balloon paper for my base. And I'm going to use this one as my designer paper 1. This is what's on the other side. And I'm going to use this as my designer paper 2. So I am going to start by cutting designer paper 2 instead of doing the punches. Okay. So designer paper 2 is the one that we're just cutting into 4 pieces that are 6 by 6. And the reason I'm doing this one first is because you might have other photos or orientations or sizes that you might want to do something different with all those photo mats on designer paper 1. So I'm going to do designer paper 2 first. So I'm using my 12-inch trimmer, and somehow I've ended up tilted. I don't know what happened. I didn't move anything, but there you go. So 6 inches. So line it up. And if it's going to matter to you, if you have directional paper or some kind of orientation that matters, you may want to be aware of that or thinking about that. So that one's going to be 6 inches, turn and rotate it, cut it at 6 inches, and then cut the remaining piece at 6 inches. So that's the first, the one paper. And then the second thing is cutting your other designer sheet, and I'm going to punch that. So I have a piece of cardboard that I've covered with parchment paper. A lot of people do a lot of different things for this. I like being able to pick this up and just dump it in the trash can when I'm done with it. And if you haven't used the border maker system in a while, and that's what you're doing, again, if you have direction that's going to matter, you want to pay attention to that when you're putting it in. But you're going to slide the paper in until the edge is on the blue part that's sticking out. And I am going to be using this film strip punch. And you slide it in. It can only go into the holder one way, and you slide it in until it clicks. And when it is in there securely, it will not fall out. And there are these notches on the bottom, and they fit into the grooves that are on the underside of the paper holder. So when you can kind of see here, they line up really nicely, but if you don't have them in those grooves, they won't line up. So when you kind of slide it along on your tabletop, you can kind of see and you can feel when it actually is in the groove. So I like to do it again on this parchment paper because then I have an easy time cleaning it up. And we're just going to punch 4 of these strips. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And since the one that I did before was a border chain that fell right off, and this one, I'm doing one that has an edge, I am actually going to have to take this piece and trim it. And this is similar to what they had on here. So what they had with this border maker punch that they use, they have instructions here that they wanted to make the piece 1 1/8 of an inch. So that is an option for you to use on your trimmer. And that's just 1 line past the 1 mark, which works out very nicely for this. Actually, I want to go just a little bit farther than the 1/8 here. That won't work out nicely for that punch. So you want to ensure that you have it, that it will work well for whatever you're doing. Second one. So this is one of those instances where while their directions say 1 1/8, it may not work out well depending on what you're actually using. So I'm just taking it a little bit past where the edge of that film strip is. So what are other people using this evening? No, but it's very clear.
I'm using Denim Revival.
Oh, nice. Are you using a punch with it, or are you gonna use some kind of border?
I'm doing the cyclic circles.
Nice. Awesome.
I'm doing Art Nouveau.
Wow, you still have some Art Nouveau.
I bought a lot of Art Nouveau because I loved it.
You did love it. I remember at one point in time you were using your last sheet of it. You must have bought more after
I
that.
bought more.
It's definitely a favorite pack for quite a while. I don't know what other people are doing, but everybody must be hard at work. So,
I'm going digital and I'm using Embrace Nature.
oh, nice. Oh, nice. So are you gonna be cutting something out of paper with that, or are you gonna be using some kind of ribbon or sticker
Both.
strip or something?
I'm cutting the shapes and using a ribbon or making a ribbon kind of.
Awesome.
Using kind of.
Nice. So now I have cut 4. And since I started trimming the one a little prematurely, I'm going to have to do a little bit of tape magic to make that work out, but it'll be okay. So if you punched with a punch that may not have a straight edge after you've punched, which is going to be most punches, you are probably going to want to take your trimmer and clean up that last edge before you go and cut any more from it. So after you've punched your 4 strips, then you may want to pause and think about what you're going to do with your photos and your photo mats before continuing on. If you already know what you're going to do with your photo mats, or you're going to follow the cutting guide, that's good. I'm going to go ahead and follow the cutting guide for right now and trim up the rest of this. But again, if you have different photos, different sizes, different numbers, go ahead and take the rest of this sheet of paper and utilize it however is going to work best for your photos. So they did 3 photo mats that were 4x4, so you can cut a 4-inch strip and then turn and rotate it and do 3 of them that are 4x4. And then they did one other piece that was 3 inches, so they trimmed a little bit more off of this to get 3-inch strips. And cut this into 3 pieces that are 4 inches long. So again, if your photos aren't going to work out like that, that's fine. So this is all I had left of that paper, which, as if those of you who scrapped with me before, you know that I love not having leftovers because I hate throwing out pretty paper. So I'm really happy to only have that much left. And on the other one, when I use the knockout border punch, this is what I had left. So I don't have very much left of either, which is awesome because then I don't feel guilty throwing it away. So assembly of this is really, really straightforward. So you have your 4 border strips, 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom. Like I said, We'll have to do a little bit of repair for that, but I will do that off camera, but we'll fix that. And then I have my 4 pieces. So I'm going to turn them 2 of them that way. And I'll turn 2 of them that way. And then I've got 4 or 3 squares that are 4 by 4. And then 3 pieces that are 3 by 4, and they had them vertically here, like that on the other layout. And then they stuck 2 photos in here, and they pretty much filled this space with them, but you could actually make them smaller. You could reorient so that you had these 2 pieces and had them horizontal instead of vertical. So I am going to, I think we can pause the recording, let people assemble things, and then we can come back and resume and see how everybody's projects are coming. Good. We are trying to wrap up for this evening, and everybody's pressing the button. It's okay. So here we go. So here is the layout. I did not end up putting photos on this one. You can kind of see where the photo mats are and how this would end up. I wanted to just give a chance to see what it would look like without any photo mats on it. So we've had a lot of people, some people doing it traditionally, a few people doing it digitally. I think we have some more. I'll share my screen and show my digital one. So let me get the right screen. Oh. Yes, this one. Okay, so then I did it this one.
Cute.
So yeah, this was their adoption
That's
day.
sweet.
And
Very
they were
nice.
not happy driving home in the car because the black one was sick the entire way home.
Oh.
So she got car sick for the first year of her life. So you can see her look here like, are we almost done? Can we be done? So, all right. And I did record this digitally. So if you do want to see how to do this one digitally, there is a separate recording for that. So I'm going to stop sharing and go to Cheryl's table. Oh, nice.
Nice.
I only had 4 photos, so and then I'll journal over here.
Nice.
Oh,
Donuts. Fun.
sorry,
Very
my
fun.
camera's all lopsided. I don't know why.
That's okay. I
Bad
was having
lighting,
problems
bad
with my
lighting. I'm on
camera.
vacation, so I don't have my regular setup here. So
You know, it's awesome that you're here while
Yeah.
you're on vacation. So,
Thank you.
all right, Colleen. All right. Oh, nice. And she put some borders and did them
Oh,
vertically on the outside,
nice.
but you've still got the 6 by 6 squares going on. You fit your vertical photos. I love how you adapted that. That's awesome.
Very nice.
I've got
Very
a
nice.
Yeah,
title for a title. I'm
great.
working on adding the title.
Nice. Love it. That's
Great.
great. Okay. I don't know if anybody else who's on tonight has anything to share yet, but we appreciate everybody tuning in. And if you do create this, please share a photo of it. Oh, we do have somebody else. Diane is here. Here we go. Hold on. All right. Let's see
I don't have
here.
all my pictures on yet.
That's okay. Oh, nice.
Oh, cute.
Nice.
I like the
Oh.
photo strip.
Yeah, I
I like,
noticed
yeah.
good border for this.
That is nice. Awesome.
Thank you.
So as I was saying, if you do watch the video and the recording and you do create a layout, we'd love to see it because we love seeing what people do, and we always learn things and get good insights from everybody. So share it on our Facebook group, Consistently Creative Croppers. We'd love to see it. And next week we are back and we are doing the February Simple Page Kit. So Noteworthy number 2. So you can always watch for that and join us next Wednesday. Thanks so much for watching.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kari.